The US stock market has seen all-time highs after all-time highs in 2024. We have now seen a rotation from the higher market caps to the lower market caps. Bitcoin, coming off an all-time high, has corrected and is showing strength for possibly its final push up. Are we due to see that great rotation from the higher market cap cryptos to the lower market cap cryptos? We will discuss that and DeFi Kingdoms, GameFi, PvP, and gameplay right around the corner. I will show off one of my greatest NFT summons that I have ever had. And at the end of this stream, I will do another summon, an epic one, due in store. Stay tuned. Make sure you put a thumbs up. Make sure you like or subscribe. See you on the other side and welcome to the trade room. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get things started. As you guys know, we do charts, we do macro, we do micro just to keep track of what's happening with macro. And so we will be digging into these charts. We'll be looking at Bitcoin. And the question lays at hand. Are we on our last push with Bitcoin? Are we seeing that same rotation that happened in the stock market where the Russell 2000 has gone in an absolute explosion? Are we going to see that? Are we looking to see that in the Bitcoin market as well? So, jam-packed with technical analysis as we had game night last week. We will have another game night because they're so fun, but we did not get a chance to look at the charts. Before we do that, I do want to proceed by saying that we are going to be doing a massive dark summon with a DeFi Kingdoms hero class that I believe is undervalued at the current moment, with DeFi Kingdoms player versus player coming on Meta's blockchain. X amount of months from now, if you're in crypto or if you're new to crypto, there's a very nascent part of this industry, gaming, that is due to blow up. And we cover that here. More specifically, we cover DeFi Kingdoms, okay, which is a world building MMORPG game. I always describe it a little bit differently at times, but we do have NFTs in them, and there is a probability roll for this. And so let's just read the tweet. Welp, never minted a mythic DeFi Kingdoms NFT hero in my illustrious career within this blockchain game. That changed today. If you've spent any time in this ecosystem, you would understand the significance of landing a hero like this, leading into an epic battle between healers, damage dealers, and tankers in the upcoming PvP Coliseum experience on Meta's blockchain. And so yeah, if you're not in the space, come in and find out more. But if you are, you understand putting two common knights together, okay, and trying to get your jackpot of a mythic is rare and never happens. So I matched them together. I got this level, I got the Dark Summon mythic, which is awesome. One summon remaining. It's a Gen 4, so it hasn't been diluted. with the greater vigor stone, which helps with vitality and health, with intimidation. Okay. Now, I want to quickly look at the odds behind this just to give some context here. Let me share this tab here. I believe this is it. And this is ADFK. Shout out to them for all the awesome analytics that they give us. But, you know, no good abilities here. Clear Vision and Fearless could have come together to make intimidation. There was a 0.02% chance of a mythic, a knight at 74%, and a priest 40, warrior 37%. So look at these odds. These odds are not in one's favor. Intimidation had a 17% to pass over, along with a few other things, including leadership. And so we rolled the dice and we got a magnificent hero here. And you know, I'm just gonna show it off a little bit here, right? So let's reset here and pick our warrior here. And after going through multiple level ups, I'm sorry, it's not a warrior, it's a knight. After going through multiple level ups, we have this decked out knight here. Let me zoom in on this thing here a little bit. Oops, sorry about that. We're messing up a little bit. This is the beast here. Okay, this is the beast here, and it's PvP ready, right? With this amount of health here as well. So just know that as we go through these technical analysis, I have another summon in store going for a PvP banger. All right. And honestly, this is the beauty of DeFi Kingdoms and GameFi. This Night Warrior ranks among top 10 Night Warriors instantaneously with the burning mechanism that was put in place. So stay tuned for the end of this to see the other summon that we have in store. But for now, we are going to get back to the charts. The topic of conversation is the last push. Is this the last push in the overall markets? Is there going to be a rotation from the larger caps to the lower caps? And do we have a bear market coming? Do we have a crash coming? Look, it is my job to be bullish when the market is bearish, and my job to be bearish when the market is thinking to be too bullish. And we'll talk about that when we get down to Jewel. If you've been here, you understand that we speak about the order of liquidity, which goes, if you're in the stock market, it goes the indices, the S&P 500, and then everything else under it. If you are in crypto, it goes obviously the overall crypto market, but Bitcoin, okay, Ethereum, and then all other altcoins. So that's what we're looking at currently. And so it's my job to be bullish when people are bearish when people are bullish. The one example I did not get a chance to show last week was Tesla, but we wouldn't even do that. It's not an example that we just want to use at this current moment. We have a small bit of time to work with, and we're going to get right into it. Okay. So when you're looking at Bitcoin, obviously, since the all-time highs here, okay, have been an all-time highs in comparison to the previous all-time high, which was at 69K. We have seen Bitcoin correct as much as, and again, these data points matter, as much as 27%. If you've been following us, we said it's normal for Bitcoin to see a 20 to 30% correction. Support was at 52K here. We've seen a very aggressive move from Bitcoin. I spoke about liking the daily chart about 8 to 9 days ago. And since then, we have eaten up and come back 25% from our lows, looking to come back and test this all-time high region. So things look good, right? The people weren't screaming bull down here, but guess who was? The trade room and the jewelers. Shout out to the Jewelers Guild. So there is a test of this all-time high area coming here. This yellow pattern you see here was a projection of what that could look like. a possible even a correction back to 52, but we're not seeing that, right? So we would make some adjustments to this overall pattern that we're looking at. And if we can come test 69, even if we correct back down to 58, build some consolidation in this area, there's not much of a difference that's changed with our projection of Bitcoin running to 92K. And when you have the final pushes, the parabolic movements that are gearing to happen, they can happen pretty fast. And so this is what we're watching for with Bitcoin. Let's talk macro, okay? Because we said, is the end of the market coming? The answer is yes, I believe so. All right, I believe that we're going to have this great push. You see my markers here, 92K. You see my markers here at 216,000. And really that is placed there because once we test 92K, possibly correct, and then break into 92K, this is an overall danger zone. And we have been screaming about it over here in the trade room. The markets will get very euphoric, but this is an area where we would be if that great rotation is happening. We would be looking at our different assets, the percentage runs that they have made, and would be looking to take profit. Again, remember, this is not financial advice. This is just me stating what I'm looking to do and overall using this as my public journal. So that's our guesstimation for Bitcoin. We'll be happy to see it move here. But around this general area, which if we look at the percentages that are left there, it's about another 130% move for Bitcoin. Might seem like a lot, but since the lows here, right, the last bear market, it's a 1,304% move. So what does 100%, 130% matter when the overall gist of the entire possible move of Bitcoin was a full 1,300%? Now, do I think it gets to 215K? I don't believe so. I do believe that between the 120 and 150K marker is where we could possibly see Bitcoin move to. But definitely, if it gets to 116K, you'll be hearing me sound like the biggest absolute bear ever. So that's what we have there. I was bullish, okay, in this area. I was bullish in this area as the market was going down. That bullishness is happening. Now we're preparing for bear. We're preparing to take profit. Okay, so that's one chart with Bitcoin. We have our guesstimation on that. We have what we're looking for. Over to XRP, which we've been tracking for quite a long time. Very bullish on XRP. XRP testing the range lows here with a massive monthly candle here. And with this monthly candle, we have come back into this blue region here. And this blue region here is the projected possible upside for XRP, which leads us to 1366. Okay. And so if this is a monthly candle, you can very easily have something like this here that happened in the past, where from the lows, it was a 2,500% move. That's incredible. We have another move here from the lows again, where it was a 1,699% move. And with this move here, if this is the low that we're catching here for XRP, again, it's about a 3,400% move from the bottom, but from our shaded area, which we said would be a good range to have positive impulse from. It's about a 2,700% move. And we have seen XRP leading the rest of the market. So when we talk about the rotation, this is the rotation that we are talking about, right? Bitcoin overall, since it started its move from its corrective area, yes, Bitcoin is up about 24%. But when you look at XRP is up what? From its lows, about 68%. And we should continue to see this play out with the rotation and other tokens running aggressively. So we're going to continue to watch this. This is our projection on XRP. Been a big bull on XRP for quite some long time. XLM falls in that category. Moving on to AVAX. Again, the great rotation, right? If we're having this rotation happening where we're expecting Bitcoin's final move, we're looking at AVAX here. And our projection on AVAX was this bearishness move here. We broke below 31. We have bull market support here at 21. 21 has reacted pretty aggressively. And we have this shaded yellow area as the area of content where we could get some ranging and an eventual breakout that leads AVAX not only to test its all-time highs here at 65, which we may see a correction from there, but to make new all-time highs here. I'm sorry, the all-time high for AVAX was not 65. All-time high for AVAX was 148. My apologies. This is just the local high here. So it may test a local high, come back down, and run back up. But overall, $224 is where we're seeing AVAX go into. It's currently sitting at $28. Made a high of 60-something dollars. I think 224 is conservative. I repeat, conservative for AVAX as a guesstimated safe Fibonacci area to create new highs at. But lo and behold, we can get AVAX making much higher prices. And this is the stream in which I finally break down what those AVAX higher prices can look like. Okay. This is that stream that I show off really what AVAX can do if it decides to go gangbusters. And as I do that, we actually, the meme coin space in AVAX, has begun to move because of meme coin rush. And let's see if I can show that off really quickly. Because of meme coin rush, there was an airdrop. Okay, there was an airdrop that happened. There was an airdrop that happened in the AVAX ecosystem, and that airdrop, if I can go over to my page, I've been tweeting like crazy. That airdrop is if you were staking in the meme coin rush staking pools and you got to diamond zoned, and diamond zone, I believe you had to hold for at least 5 epochs. No, at least 10 epochs, which is like 2 months. Some people were airdropped a bunch of AVAX tokens between $600 and $800. And this tweet kind of epitomizes it. The AVAX community just got airdropped $3.9 million from a mysterious wallet. Almost 8,000 people got airdropped 600 to 800 each. This is crypto. This is why we're here. This is the space. And this is what happens. And the interesting thing is, you would think that individuals that were partaking in this ecosystem would just dump their tokens, but actually that is not what is happening. This is the cock token here. All right, it's a part of, it's in the AVAX ecosystem. It's the largest meme coin in the AVAX ecosystem. They were a part of the airdrop, and since the airdrop did people dump their cock tokens? No, cock is actually from the lows looking like it is breaking out. Okay, and when you look at the lows here, cock is now up 86%, because guess what, individuals who are coming in are seeing that this may not be the only airdrop. They may be more in store. So if I'm seeing cock holders receiving an airdrop and buying more cock, buying more AVAX, maybe I want to partake in this ecosystem, stake for more epochs, and possibly get an airdrop like this. I love this move from the Cock Inu team. Love how AVAX ecosystem is looking right now. And when we overall look at the cock token, we've had this projection even from this downtrend here from the cock token. And so far things are looking really good for a bottoming structure. When you're creating a bottoming structure, you have something similar to this. You have something similar happening here. This pen is not even drawing. And from here, from the lows here for Kakinu, oh gosh, come on, man. Work with me here. I'm trying to use the ruler. From the lows here from Kakinu, if I can get this correctly, okay, we had a 500, 600% run. And so our projection on where Kak Inu is going to run, the next area where you'll have possibly a heavy correction from these lows, okay, it's about a 658% move, which is a pretty big move. And then from where price is right now, it's still about a 300% move. And then for its all-time highs, for it to get there, it's about a 290% move. So the AVAX ecosystem, again, that rotation that's happening from Bitcoin, the rotation that's happening into Ethereum and other tokens, you're seeing that within even the minute meme coins. I did not mean to move that. Let's go back. So a little bit of a side segment when it comes to breaking down AVAX, but it's important to understand what we're looking at with AVAX and why AVAX can not only get to $224, but can also, if things get really parabolic, all right, AVAX could be looking at $594 as a full retracement from peak to trough of this pattern here. And based upon, the additional euphoria from where we are right now, that is a 1,984% move. And if we include where we started tracking this 2,500% move, which currently it went as high as 653% within it. It still sits at 240% within it. But if we track the total from the bottom of around $8 for AVAX, it's a total of a 6,873% move. Very possible, again, very possible for AVAX with that rotation happening from the larger market cap things in crypto. Yeah, AVAX is still top 20, so it has like a large market cap. But all in all, this is what you can see in this ecosystem. And this is what we'll be tracking as AVAX begins to move, makes its move. But if you're looking at these type of percentages from the actual blockchain token, what could we be looking at for the meme coins on the AVAX ecosystem? So that's the breakdown on AVAX. It could break out of this yellow region. We're just waiting on that consolidation. And if you guys have other tokens you'd like for me to look at, it's just so many tokens we can be looking at. But we're going to shift right over to Jewel because, again, the order of liquidity, we've been tracking Bitcoin as a representative of the entire cryptocurrency market. Then we move over to Ethereum. Ethereum is a good indicator of alt season. So we can take a quick pop and look at Ethereum before we go look at Jewel, right? Before we go look at Jewel. And I always misplace the Ethereum that I should be looking at, but I think we found it. Booyah. So when it comes to Ethereum is the altcoin indicator. It had its high here, its all-time high here of about 4,800. It's, again, found its low here, found support here at about 1651. Continue to break through this $3,700 region has been a really, really major resistance. Again, why do we have these markers here? They're here for a reason. It's called technical analysis. And so if that rotation is happening, with Bitcoin is gearing to break through its all-time high. Ethereum is also after a double test, right? A double test is looking to, again, double test is looking to break out to test this next region, not only its all-time high here, but to test this next region of 5,300. From there, very similar to Bitcoin, it could create some sort of falling pattern, especially when Bitcoin is kind of doing its thing. and then what? And then break out from here to that next level of around 8,200. And then from there, we have a high of about 12,600 that Ethereum could move to. And from this current region, it's about a 263% run for Ethereum. But this will just be a good sign for all the other tokens in the ecosystem, all the other altcoins in the ecosystem to see Ethereum break out. And honestly, that is what we are expecting to see. All right, so that's it for Ethereum there, AVAX there, Bitcoin there. Now we can move on to, let's say, Jewel. Okay, and we'll wrap up with Jewel on a technical analysis before we do our dark summon, our next dark summon after hitting big on a PvP ready night. We're going for another banger with another hero NFT that I believe is really slept on. So here's the Jewel chart, and we'll start macro, right? We'll start macro before we go micro. And I tweeted recently. I tweeted recently, and before we do this breakdown, I'm gonna pull up the tweet. Hopefully it's not too far down. My page here. Let's see. Okay, I have it here. So I said, man, if this macro inverse head and shoulders plays out on Jewel, I need to be placed in DFK Hall of Fame or some shit. And we've been tracking Jewel for a very long time. We saw a smaller inverse head and shoulders in the chart, and as of June 15th, um, even as early as let's say May, we started to notice Jewel making a particular pattern. And we'll head over to this tweet where it says, "Ever seen a do or die moment? Last time we saw a probable inverse head and shoulders, Jewel spiked from 7 cents to 80 cents. This one is even bigger. And this is the head and shoulders that we were looking at. At that point, Jewel was around 12 cents. It corrected below that, actually. And we'll take a look at that in a second. But I'm ready. I'm ready to be in the Hall of Fame, man. I am ready to be in the Hall of Fame. Again, if you're here, haven't put a thumbs up yet, make sure you do that. Helps with what I'm doing and my growth. And so, look, we've looked at Jewel just forever. Okay. This is the monthly on Jewel. We've talked about this dip forever. We've seen this consolidation area here. This is capitulation here. Again, the beginning where Jewel started at 0.007 and made a massive run to about $26, $27. This capitulation area where just price month on month on month was dropping, and this could have been the possible support area, but that got broken here where Jewel went as low as about 6.4 cents. And an inverse head and shoulder pattern is what we see forming here. And even though the monthly chart, and again, this is the monthly chart, each candle is a month, even though it dipped below this capitulation area, and you could be like, oh man, it dipped below the area, I guess it's over. You need to allow the larger time frames to come into pattern, right? Because you'll get the market being scared off of certain moves, but where does the monthly candle close out? And over here, the 2 monthly candle closed out on top of this area at around 11 cents, and you've seen a impulse into what we call here the bull market support zone. That is this green box here. And I'm just gonna shrink this RSI box here just a wee bit. I'm gonna shrink these just a wee bit so we can have more to work with here. Right? Close above, boom, escaped. Other monthly candles did not close below this line. They may have went below it, but they came back up. This monthly candle, when the whole drama that was going on with the whale selling, the one that went down to 6 cents, it did not close below. You had 1, 2, and 3 months that closed below this capitulation support area, and it instantaneously made one of the biggest runs we've seen made in Jewel in a very long time. Okay, this was a total of about a 700% run from the lows. And then yet you see it again. Again, everything that's happening here is 731 days. I may even need to stretch it out more because we've had another month in stores, 761 days. All right. 2 years, all right, where the monthly candle refuses to close below the support. And you're seeing that again with June and July refusing to close below the support. So we inferenced a inverse head and shoulders forming. You look at the lower time frames, you look at the larger time frames, you look at the overall market, you look at Bitcoin, all-time high testing, getting ready to break out. You look at the order of liquidity flowing over, and it looks like we're getting ready for a massive impulse. It looks like we're getting ready to respect the head and shoulders. You have a shoulder, you have a head, you have a shoulder forming. And what do we normally see from there? What we normally see from there, oops, let me drag this down. What we normally see from there and just follow the arrows is a breakout, a back test of the neckline of the head and shoulders. And again, the neckline is, we won't get too much into that, but this is the bull market support area between 15 cents and 30 cents and really 29 cents. We're most likely going to get a breakout. Again, not financial advice. Back to that 74-cent area, depending on what Bitcoin is doing, we could get a back test. But what we've seen from Jewel is absolute disrespect. When it decides to move, it moves. And so we've seen the 74-cent area already. What is that next area that we're seeing? It is $1.26. It's $1.26. There may be some consolidation there. There will be disbelief. There will be disbelief from the market, and it and we're off to the races. After we finish out whatever's going on here between 74 and 126, we are off to the races to $5.58 because there is nothing. Okay, there is nothing stopping Jewel. There's just a big gap, a massive gap here before you get any sort of resistance. And that first bit of resistance, kind of starts at $4, but really a lot of resistance at 558. So when we talk about being bullish in the market but preparing for the bearishness, as prices move up and individuals get very euphoric on DeFi Kingdoms, very euphoric on Jewel, I will be looking to start planning to sell once we leave this 125 region. The planning to sell will begin, and around this $5 region, going to be selling 100%, whether it's 2%, 3%, 4%, 10%, 15%, 20%, 30%, 50%. That will be determined by the markets, how things are moving. For me personally, do I think we can get to all-time high? I am not a believer in that. I would like for my mind to be changed, but I am not a believer that we get to all-time highs. That's just me. But I'm a believer in this $5.50 region and this $9.90 region. But again, will be selling at that point. So that's what I'm looking at for Jewel. I do think that in future bull markets, right? Jewel has a chance to make it to $41. But what is my overall guesstimation and prediction on the overall market and where that could be going? That just has me quickly look at the S&P 500, okay? Because the crypto market doesn't move tremendously without the US equity markets moving. And again, if you're here, thank you for being here. There's a DeFi Kingdoms Dark Summon for the ages that is coming. So just make sure to stay tuned for that. Follow my Twitter, follow my YouTube as well. So the S&P 500, okay? It's been making this channeled move since January of 15, and it's just been up only for the S&P 500. Okay, when we look at the 3-month chart, we see S&P 500 is looking very parabolic. In my guesstimation, that after this bull run, we may be due for a massive correction, massive crash in the markets. And this one may last longer than most do, right? In Bitcoin, we always say 4-year cycle, 4-year cycle. We may get a larger crash than we are anticipating. And it's based on a few things here. There's bearish divergence currently here on the S&P 500, and it could break out, right? It could break out of there if you look at the 3-month chart. Let's even go to the 6-month chart, right? And really, the S&P 500 is overbought, and we're seeing a change in the median. Don't want to spend too much time on this, but we could see the S&P 500, because this could be a bit of a another head and shoulders that's forming here. The S&P 500 could be topping out here, and really, when it does decide to cool from here, we can have the S&P 500 correct a total. Well, yeah, I think it could get to around 600 and 600 here. We could see it correct a total back to this baseline here of about 23%. That's massive for the S&P 500. But in exchange, S&P 500 could move if you're going to 600, right? S&P 500 could move another 10%. S&P could move another 10% in exchange for a 25% dump. That's the bear market that I am preparing for. There are ways to win within this type of bear market, but overall, big picture today is the great rotation that's happening, the last push in this bull market that we are in, and the possible crash to come. Well, the normal type of crashes that happen, the cleaning cycle, in to gear us for another bull market, which for me, when we come through that crash for cryptocurrency, there will be less speculation and more utility, more use and utility of actual things that crypto and blockchain are able to solve, not just speculation and not just meme coins. So that's the overall picture I am painting for you guys today. I hope some or any of it makes sense. I'm still here. I'm bullish overall for the next 20 to 30 years, the next 10 to 15 years in the cryptocurrency market. But cycles happen and we go through cycles, and you have to be prepared for it. So now it is time to go back to DeFi Kingdoms, preparing for PvP. Very excited about that. And we're getting ready to do a dark summon. Before we do that, I actually want to get away from the bearishness and get into the bullishness of what is to come with DeFi Kingdoms, what is to come with PvP. I'm absolutely bullish. I'm absolutely excited. I'm ecstatic for what's to come. And I want to go ahead and play this PvP teaser that we have here coming up for DeFi Kingdoms. I am ready to battle. I am dark summoning like no other. I'm ready to go in, and let's hear from Hercules on the Metis blockchain and the Hercules decks. Let's go. All right, that's enough. That's enough. Back to the regularly scheduled programming. Dark Summon time. Very hyped for PvP. So to reveal the underslept hero that I'm going to be building today, it is the Berserker. I think the Berserker on. I dark summoned a Berserker here. All right, it's level 13. I've been building it. Do a little lesser finesse stone on it to test out the accuracy, see how that's really doing, and it's been pretty decent, right? Dex is up there, and even the HP on it is decent. And so I said, you know what? I want to be able to go into PvP ready for anything, prepared for anything. I've been enjoying summoning as well. Got the great airdrop from MEMECOIN Rush. It is time to put together a couple of bangers of berserkers and mash them up. Obviously, going for the mythic, but also going for a berserker that does not miss. Okay, I don't want to have a berserker that misses. I want the berserker to also have its weapon on this as well. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna mash up a berserker shapeshifter and a berserker wizard. All right. A lot of summons remaining because we're gonna go for a mythic. We're going for a mythic, and when you're mashing up these NFTs, you can add to the rarity boost, right? So we're going for a mythic, right? We're also, if we're trying to go for a berserker that doesn't miss, we're gonna throw a greater finesse stone on it, which is +8 dex immediately. Okay. Plus 7% to primary growth stat, plus 21% to secondary growth stat, right? So, and then we're gonna, add up the bonuses from the levels. So this is it, ladies and gentlemen. We're going for a different angle than most players. All right, we're trying to mash up, and because we possibly get a mythic, I would like to leave one. All right, one possible summon available, just in case in the future I may want to sell it. Now, what are the possible odds that we have with this Berserker build? Well, let's take a look at adventures in DFK. Right, a legendary Berserker, a rare Berserker shapeshifter. How can these translate over? We do have some abilities here. Okay, so we could possibly get a Berserker wizard or Berserker shapeshifter. Our current odds are about 2% for a mythic, but you guys saw how those odds changed. And we can have intimidation passed over, which I've really been liking intimidation, especially for a tanker that's going to be going up against crazy archers, right? So I thought about putting a endurance or a vitality stone on this berserker, but I can't have this berserker miss, especially if I want him to do great damage. So let's go ahead and you know may the odds be in our favor. We're gonna go for this. I have to go ahead and put burn here, and I have to get my device. Oops. I have to get my device ready to approve this. To approve this here. To approve this here. All right. Let's get to burning. I mean, listen, I think the Defikingdoms is so here. Ecosystem have not had much success summoning. The fact that I was able to summon this mythic knight, right? I was able to summon this mythic knight, and it's like a top 10, top 15 hero in the game. I think that's one of the last things that I'll like show off. Once we crack this here, that's one of the last things that I'll show off is how my knight compares to other knights, right? Because that's That's what we're here for, right? That is what we are here for. So let me go ahead and approve this. All right, get that cracked, and then I'll be showing off how my knight ranks amongst other knights. Some who are already at level 20 as well. And last time I did not see my knight populate, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. Let's rub our hands. Mythic vibes, mythic vibes. Give me what I'm looking for. Please just start with the Berserker. Like, don't do me dirty, like right off the rip. You know what I'm saying? Let's start off with the Berserker. Let's stay on cue. Okay, we got a Berserker. Woohoo! We got a Berserker. I like the tail on the Berserker too. Oh no, it's a rare. The shapeshifter didn't pass on either. Oh, it's a rare, and the shapeshifter didn't pass on either. That's disappointing, but hey, this is what happens when you roll the dice. The dex also too, like it only got 14, which is a little concerning. The only way I can feel better about this is if intimidation. Oh, what a rug. What a rug. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's not always a hit. Okay. It's not always a hit. This is not impressive to me. You know, I'd like to see how the leveling goes, but this is not impressive to me for how much I just gave up. But this is the game. You roll the dice in order to win. So we'll go back to we'll go back to my knight. All right, we'll go back to my knight. So you guys can see it's not that easy, and then the roll of the dice is important, right? So coming over to here, these are the top knights. You know, a knight paladin, a legendary one, a rare one, level 20. You know, let's go to level 16 where I am right now and see how my hero compares. I have a 1170 HP. So, you know, I beat this guy out, you know, who's ranked number 1 right now. I don't even think my guy has populated here yet. I don't think my guy has populated here yet at all. I don't know how ADFK queries some of this info. But yeah, my HP beats out others on my level, even though these are level 15, level 16. And my vitality in itself is 48. So actually, my vitality is not as high as some of these others as well. And that's what if you're looking at just vitality. But yeah, I would think that based upon what I'm seeing here, right? We have, you know, Chen's here, and some of these other guys. This Paladin's pretty beast, right? I'm sorry, this knight is pretty beast, and I think I rank at least top 20, top 15 amongst these as well. So yeah, that's pretty much everything we have for you guys today. Pretty bullish on where the market is to go, preparing for bullishness, but also really preparing for the bear market to come. And you have to be in this current day and time, at this current moment. Love to see AVAX pumping. Love to see meme coins pumping. That's only going to triculate to DeFi kingdoms as well. So, gonna leave you guys off today with bullish, the great rotation that's happening, the inverse head and shoulders on Jewel. I want to be on the Mount Rushmore of DeFi kingdoms and the GameFi space. We're gonna see that pin out. Super excited to see PvP come out, and we're gonna leave off with a little bit of Shark Q. Please catch you guys in the other one.